Welcome to the Quick Sub F1. Stop it.
Is this guy okay? Welcome.
It's you. You're the in the background.
Yeah.
But welcome to the Quick Sub F1 podcast. My name is Nyasha, and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Joining me today is someone who can only be described as an absolute ray of sunshine in the workplace, okay? No one has ever described this person as anything other than a joy to work with. And I can confirm that 100%.
Yeah. I know that's right.
And if anything, she deserves the best of the best. And that's what she will always get in work, out of work. It's the most moisturized F1 content creator in the world. Welcome to the show, Thandie Sabanda.
I feel like I haven't been here in ages, but it hasn't been that long. I feel like, when little Kim came out of jail and she appeared at the music awards. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You come out straight into the VMAs.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, look, we're so grateful to have you. People are asking. I say people. One person asked where you were, but
Such a prick. Okay.
Sorry. That was not nice. No, people are asking where you were, and obviously, we missed you. How have you been? Everything all right? All good?
Yeah, I've been working because I've got a job, even though I hate working. So if anybody wants to retire me, shout me. And actually, don't listen to Nyasha. I'm actually a joy to work with. And so drop me an email if you want to do any collabs or anything like of the sort, But apart from that, I missed you guys.
She'll reply if you have enough clout. So, because you don't think, that some of you might get excited by that and invite her, and what she'll do is she'll read it and she won't reply.
I will. I always reply.
Yeah. Message her directly. Don't message the Quick Someone asking for Thandie.
They never do. That's the thing. We actually have a problem right now, an epidemic even, where people want to speak to Nyasha and for some reason they leave voicemails in my DMs. And it's happened twice now and I'm sick of it.
Wow.
The man has an Instagram and a Twitter and it's Munch Club TV. He doesn't really put it out there, but it's there, right? Or maybe go to no, actually, I'm not going to even distress a black woman. Distress this man here. This guy here.
Yeah. Stress him.
Okay. Well, look. Yeah, and conversely, if you want to go talk to Thandie, please talk to her directly. Don't talk through corners. So, joining us today is, it's not enough having one amazing Quick Stop F1 presenter. Why not have two and make it a family affair? You obviously know her as the Queen of Saturdays. Here she is on a Monday/Tuesday, wherever you get this. It's none other than my friend, your friend, our friend, Tasha James.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Woo!
Whenever we're together now, I think of that comment that happened like a long time ago that was like, Tasha, it sounds like you just put both of your names together. Like, I don't know why.
Tasha's our love child.
Remember that comment?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
What's a love child? Actually, I just be saying shit. I just be saying shit.
Yeah,
Maybe next episode.
Yeah,
maybe something for next episode.
Saying shit.
That's not.
Yeah, right?
You're gonna steam your toilet, Donald Trump.
That's not.
Just in the sense that.
Tasha,
yeah.
How are things? Obviously, we spoke on Saturday after the sprint race, which did give us a level of entertainment. But I guess, how did you enjoy the Chinese Grand Prix as a whole?
Ooh, I definitely fell asleep, but it was like 4 a.m. my time. So to be fair, I did rewatch it and I don't know, I found it okay. I mean, the safety cars helped spice it up a little bit, but I don't know, wasn't really feeling it. It was nice though. It was nice. The track was nice. The crowd was nice. The little ceremonial thing for Zhou at the end was really cool to see. Like, but yeah, other than that, it was, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Thandie?
I'll tell you what I didn't enjoy, guys. Did not. Imagine I'm Birdman right now, just stepped into the interview, and I'm like, first and foremost, stop playing on my name. Quick stop F1. Why am I scrolling on my phone and I see Lando bottled it? Are you man stupid? Don't ever talk to my boy like this. Don't ever try that. Don't ever try that. Because you know you have to swallow your words though, Tasha James.
Thandie, talk to him. Don't talk to us.
I'm thinking, raw. Surely not my platform with this content, with this hatred. And I said, I'm coming for them. Yeah? Raw. It felt like I felt personally victimized by that comment. Because you guys had to eat your words. So I want you guys to explain yourselves and then tell me what your reaction was when he didn't bottle it.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll take that on. Yes. I think I've actually vociferously defended Lando on here. I remember a very strong conversation Chris and I had in the back
Don't bring Chris into this.
Well, bring him in the back of a rental car, defending him from a strong argument of why would we rate Lando, because he hasn't got any wins. By the way, he now has 15 podiums, 8 second places, no wins. And I said he is an incredible driver, and I don't think we shouldn't judge him purely based on wins. We should judge him based on what he's getting out of that car, and he's doing really well. The reason why he bottled it and the reason why we're disappointed in him is because he needs to step up and be mature in situations where it's fight or flight.
Right.
And I think that on Saturday, there was an opportunity. Look, we all know Max was going to come through anyway, potentially. But if he just not tried to go for it on the first lap, tucked in behind Lewis, DRS was available after a lap. He could have got past him after a lap and then started to control the place and go forward and, and whatnot. Because he didn't do that, he got hung out to dry and lost any kind of chance of winning the race. And that's where the disappointment is, because he can do better. We're not angry.
Right.
We're just disappointed.
Right.
And that's what it was. I rate Lando Norris a lot. If I didn't rate him, I'd have been like, oh, unlucky guy, maybe next time. But because we rate him, or because I rate him,
right,
I wanted to see a more calculated response. And I think if it was Max that was hanging him out around the outside, I think he would have backed off. But because it was Lewis, and we do see fights Lewis harder than he fights Max, for whatever reason, the cars are more closer or whatever. But I just think that was a bit of a bozo moment. And it's a shame, because he showed on Sunday, like you said. I think for me, I think he was, I do think he was, the best driver.
Thank you.
On the grid
on
Sunday.
Same.
Same. So yeah.
And I sat there and I said, I think he's the best driver. I watched it because I talk to myself a lot. And I said, I think he's definitely the best driver today that I've seen. It would be really awkward if I made a video about how he bottled it the day before, but I didn't. So there's that. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wowee. You see the hostility. Anyway, absolute pleasure to work with. Absolute pleasure to work with at all times.
No, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this, guys. I'm actually such a pleasure to work with. They love me. No, they love me. They love me. And what would I be if I didn't come here and give an opinion? We can't come in here and constantly just be like an echo chamber. I'm not a moth, babe.
Pardon?
I'm not a moth.
A moth?
What's that got?
Moths fly to light.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just follow the crowd. They I'm gonna call you up and ask you.
Oh,
I'm gonna pull. Stop it right now.
Wait a minute, but what do you call it though when Lando gets a pole, and then by the end of turn 1, he's in P7?
I get it, Tasha, right?
How is that
It's bottling,
not bottling?
But when it's bottling, I haven't said it's not bottling, right? I've just said put some respect on Lando's name, because that would be awkward if you guys had come out and said like, yo, like Lando's not that good, like he's actually not got it in him, which is maybe something somebody actually did say, but but Lando has it in him. And I have said many times on this podcast,
I'm still waiting to
it's
see
a strategy.
Personally.
Yeah, it's a strategy.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You were like doing the...
So no, just do my Britney.
Oh, baby.
Protected. But no, I think you're right, Thandie. And like, no, you are not a moth to the flame. You fly at your own pace.
The fuck am I gonna come on here and act like I'm not a Lando fan? I'm obviously gonna defend him. You guys would do the same for your team,
as you should.
Yeah.
As you should. Oh, pardon?
I said you guys would do the same for your driver.
I thought you said...
Okay. No, you're true. You're
I
right.
you said something completely different. Yeah.
You're right. And I think what I would ask is you say, let's keep Chris out of this. Chris says in the comments, he's a joke, capital letters.
I don't give a fuck.
No
Chris.
Wins now, Chris, and forever.
Don't fucking start me, Chris. Because me and you will have it out on the WhatsApp voice notes. I promise you. And I can go all night, Chris. I can go all night. Every one of you, man, and quick some F1. Some fucking respect on my name. I'm being so fucking serious. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, I totally agree with the point that Yash just made, that Lando actually has not had any wins. However, we shouldn't look at Lando and talk about Lando like he's in per se the same category as Magnussen. Magnussen's gonna bottle it, right? Lewis makes mistakes. I never say he bottles it, because I know he's got potential. You see where I'm going with this? Kind of, innit? Okay. I'm trying to think where I'm going with it as well. But put some respect on Lando's name. That's all I'm saying, innit? That's all I wanted.
No, that's fair.
Yeah?
That's fair. Tasha.
Yes.
I guess for you, where do you rank Lando Norris? I think the thing with Lando, Chris makes a point, that he didn't actually overtake anyone on track. He got lucky with the safety car and he was able to kind of take advantage of that. Someone else would say that pardon me, his time management and his ability to essentially lap at the same pace as Perez, in that second stint was, a masterful kind of performance from someone in, pardon me, in a car which is, significantly slower than the Red Bull. So I guess where do you stand on Lando's overall performance? And look, we have to remember as well, in the wet, 1.3 seconds faster than anyone else for that pole position lap, which feels like a lifetime ago now. But, that he did on Friday morning, Friday morning here anyway, but then you had the low of the sprint race, but then obviously you then have, a decent qualifying performance followed by, a better race, and driver of the day, so obviously a large percentage of the F1 world think he did well. But I guess where does his performance for you sit in terms of, is it overhyped? Were we too harsh? Are people being too over on what he achieved on Sunday? Like, how do you feel?
I mean, I feel like Saturday or the sprint race was the correct call. I mean, he did bottle it. Sorry, Thandie. That was his first 8 laps for the taking, and he let, Lewis get around him. So in the race, though, I definitely feel like, yeah, he did a great job. I mean, definitely had really great tire management, was extremely fast. I mean, you can't take away his talent. I think that's the thing that I always feel like with Lando. Like, his talent is not like debatable, but like his mentality for me is kind of what I think sets him like under like, like a Max Verstappen, a Lewis Hamilton, so on and so forth. It's like all drivers have potential, but like he just hasn't, in my opinion, tapped into that like next level. Like even after this, he, got P2 and said something like, when I finish behind Max, that feels like a win. And I'm just like, in what universe should any athlete who aspires to be a world champion ever say second place feels like a win? You know what I mean? Like, this is, I don't know. I just feel like he shouldn't accept those positions. Yes, it's great that he got it, especially in the era that we're in. No one really is challenging Max, but I feel like I need to see more from him. I think potential is one thing, but I think following through is like a whole other,
I definitely feel like we do need to see more from Lando, 100%. Like, we need to see more from a lot of people on that grid. But what I am saying is, let's not distinct from the fact that we have a second Red Bull driver apart from Verstappen, right? And Lando was doing so much better than him. So that does not completely rule out Lando as somebody who's quite talented and is a potential to be doing quite well at the moment. Like, look at his points. He's decent. Like, he's doing all right. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I'll say.
Right.
That's where I conclude.
No, look, I wish, you know what, for both of you, I'll give you
Yay.
really good, well debated, spirited debate. Look at that, guys. People can have differing opinions. And we didn't have to resort to name calling.
Stop calling people the NIGGER word. It's mad.
Didn't have to do that. Didn't have to make fun of their gravelly voice.
Yeah.
And say it was a medical condition. Didn't have to do that, did we? We can all disagree.
Who said that about your voice? Who said that about your voice?
Just
at me in the comment next time. I'll go for them.
I mentioned it on Saturday. I don't want to do it two episodes in a row, but I just want to reiterate it hurt. Okay. So, well, look, as good a race as Lando had, and or bad a race, depending on which race we're talking about. Let's move on to the struggle bus that is Mercedes. I want to concentrate. Obviously, we can kind of get into it later, when we talk about the race itself. But I think this is something we touched on Saturday, Tasha, and it has, I think, in light of the race, gone worse. So there are some quotes attributed to Toto Wolff that have come out after the weekend, where essentially Toto, look, let me get them up. But Toto, paraphrasing, not happy with Lewis and the setup changes that he had done, which had essentially taken the car backwards, I think, in Toto's eyes. So here is one quote after the race, which Toto made, which was not great.
What you're about to bring out.
The role of the driver in the development is overrated. It's worse to lose an engineer than it is to lose a driver. There's also some comments I've got here. Big up Hamilton Insights, by the way, who does incredible graphics for these things, which makes it a lot easier to just read them online. Here's a full quote of Toto Wolff, who says, Lewis is in a surprisingly good mood after the poor start to the season. I don't know if it's because he knows he'll be going elsewhere next year, but it's just not like him. He's a true professional. I know very well that in the world of sports, there are lots of ups and downs. They say it's important to bounce back, but the reality is that right now it's difficult because we're often mentally beaten down. We want to do better, but it can be tough when we don't meet our expectations. There's also, I want to find an interview he did in German, which was quite scathing.
Brother, this guy stinks. Bloody hell.
It's not great. And this is paraphrasing. This was an interview given in German. So
we don't have translate apps. Come on.
It was written in German. Maybe it has. What's the date today? Oh, here we go. here we go. Right. So, oh yeah. So that was the engineer quote was from the German thing, and it started off saying Lewis, the lead car. Put the car in a direction which made it undrivable, and I think there were comments that were echoed about that on Sky Sports. Sorry, a long way to say thoughts on, I guess, Toto's management of this bad situation, and I guess the comments made about Lewis, and despite the fact that, I don't think it was as complimentary about Lewis when he got second in qualifying. I think he followed it up by saying, well, yeah, we're lucky. Oh, sorry, second in sprint race, but we're lucky that, the cars behind were fighting. Yeah, I guess it feels a bit weird. I don't know, but is that just Team LH and people taking things out of context and being riled up, or is there some kind of credence to what feels like a very bad relationship, or a relationship that's gone worse? Because I think at the weekend you said you don't think it's got there quite, but maybe has that changed?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this happened, preseason as well, when, we learned that Lewis was going to Ferrari. I feel like the weird kind of comments started coming out, like little jabs here and there. And then it's just like each weekend there's something. Like this weekend it's, Lewis made changes that made it undrivable, which, Lewis also said, like, I made those changes. That was on me. But just the previous week or the previous race, they were doing experiments on the car up until the lights went out. Like they changed like something with the front end of the car, which also made the car difficult to drive in the race and advance in the race. So it's like, are the experiments cool when you guys are doing it, or is it like an issue when Lewis wants to do it? I don't know. Like what page are we on? Like I just feel like everybody on the team is on a completely different page. I guess if that's really what I would summarize it as. And I think for Toto, he's the leader. He needs to get everybody on the same page. You know what I mean? Like if we're experimenting, then this is on us as a team. And if we're not experimenting, then let the car be and like let's just see what happens. But George's car, to my knowledge, wasn't really changed between the sprint race and the full race, or qualifying in the race. So, but the best he was able to do was P6. And I think in like 4 or 5 races, he's averaging like P5, P6, something like that. So the car, regardless of the extreme setups or the experimentation, is still not great. So in my opinion, I just feel like Toto constantly kind of giving these comments out like publicly just doesn't feel productive. And I'm curious to see what actually is productive behind the scenes that they're doing to try to like improve the car. Because I feel like the experiments aren't working,
Well,
sorry.
They're not at all. Car shit, respectfully, to everyone at Brackley and Brixworth. Like, it's not great. It's not great. Thandie, how are you feeling about, I guess, this? I think, obviously, we've just not been able to have, for various reasons, not been able to have your pleasure on the podcast. So I feel like this is something that has been going on for a while, but I don't think I've spoken to you about it since maybe, before Japan. So when was that? Like Australia, when we were talking about the experimentations and Toto Wolff and stuff. So I guess, I know you were a fan of Toto Wolff before, and that's kind of got a bit worse, but has your kind of opinion of him changed, whilst all of this has happened, or...
Okay, so obviously last time we spoke about Toto, there was an inappropriate comment made that I did not actually say. Can we just... Yeah.
Well, I didn't bring that up. Okay. You've just brought that up
because I just want to remind everyone, right?
Okay.
That inappropriate comment.
Well, I deliberately didn't bring it up.
Toto Wolff is obviously he's on a world tour of destruction. There's no unity in the team because, as Tasha just said, that you're the leader, you're the charismatic leader, and so you echo the views of the team. And when the team is clearly on like a tour, a media-wide tour, questioning Lewis and adding to the echo chamber of people who bring out absolutely absurd, headlines about Lewis, or just use Lewis for SEO clickbait articles, and he's added to that. He's clearly an enemy of the state. It's almost like when you have a bitter ex-boyfriend or something, or like a bitter ex, and he's like, oh, like, he doesn't really wear that. She's not really into that. Weird, because she never used to wear, she doesn't even like that girl. Why is she hanging out with her? Lewis is wearing less, going out more. He's ready for this new change. Like, you know when like you are so over the bullshit and you're so over the rubbish that you can just now freshly smile because you just know what's coming is just so much better. I can see that in him. For anyone who's a Lewis Hamilton stan, who stares at Lewis Hamilton pictures every week when they all come through, you look at his outfits, you can see there's a different glow. This glow is literally, I'm not happy about this team, but I'm more happy because of the growth that's about to come. Obviously, the growth that's about to come is quite questionable because Ferrari are now doing, their wishy-washy stuff. So, they need Lewis there. But in terms of Toto Wolff, like, it's been so disappointing because Toto Wolff has always been the trio that we've always seen Lewis. After Lewis, we love Toto. And he has this fantastic wife. And, the PR is all there for him. It's all fantastic. But when, you go on a public rampage of destruction, you are obviously now questionable to the rest of Team LH. And it's sad to see because the team is already in like disarray. People are already whispering about us. And then you have given them an open window to do so. And that's where we're at. Yeah, I like your F1 bottle, by the way.
Thank you. I got it for free from F1 Manager in 2022. I remember, Yeah, big up those guys.
Got those guys. Didn't send anything again, but the next year. No, cool. Thank you.
No, nothing the next year.
Nothing.
Just saying.
Nothing.
23. Nothing.
But we will be waiting.
24. But
nothing.
Not this year. But the chocolates were great.
Yeah.
The chocolates are really nice. They, this
would really like to receive them again.
I would like to receive them, yeah. But,
I'm going for dinner with Aldous next week. I'm going to shout Aldous and let them know. Go for dinner with Aldous. Shout out Aldous.
Yeah.
How it moves.
Should we let them know? Like, we have people at our house. We have powerful people.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Me and Aldous go way back.
And break bread with.
We break bread with Aldous.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Give us some free shit. Toto Wolff. It's a tough one.
It's a tricky one.
I think he's always very honest, and I think he's always been very honest. And I think his personality is not to sugarcoat things. And I think in the same way, in the infamous words of Kanye West, why do you think me and Dame cool? We're arseholes. Why do you think him and Niki Lauda are cool? They're both two straight talking people who could have those open and honest conversations with each other, and they were just very, very honest. And if we're being honest, Lewis did do an experiment that fucked the car, and in his own words, it didn't work, and it made the car undrivable, and to the point where he was initially blaming that setup on. I'm going to say blaming, but it contributed to the car being undrivable and him making that mistake, which knocked him out in Q1. Now he's obviously come back and said, that's on me, blah, blah, blah. But what I would say is, for someone who is about the business, it felt like he was chucking Lewis under the bus a little bit there. And I think when you have the opportunity to say, look, yeah, car's not great, but great for Lewis to come from 19th or 18th to 9th. We've maximized our points here. George did well to get 6th. He's gone up, was it 2 places? Lewis has gone up, 9 places.
Yeah.
That's good. And, we'll take that into Miami where we've got some updates coming and go from there.
Easy.
I just think, not to put my HR thing hat on all the time, but I think we spoke about this on Saturday, Tasha, have a shit sandwich, fine. You've got to have a compliment in there somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, drip feed me something nice.
Yeah.
You can say Lewis, probably the setup direction was great, but it did really well to come back. And then hopefully, in Miami, we won't be doing as many experiments. and that's how you can frame it. I think just chucking someone under the bus who's gone from 19th, 18th to 9th, who is clearly by far the most popular driver there for your brand and bringing visibility to your brand. You've got him doing Shanghai events with Tommy. You've got him doing all the fan events. You've got, they're literally the whole main grandstand is dedicated to a driver in your team.
Yeah.
I found it to be the act of a man who no longer cares about having that driver. And I think Toto's constant talking about trying to get Max Verstappen in, this, that, and the other. I think the bitter ex analogy is the perfect way to describe it. Sometimes when your ex is like online and like you can see they're doing performative shit. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in the morning it's the Bible quotes, and then in the afternoon it's I'm just doing so much better on my own.
You don't even like that event. Why are you there? You hate those people.
Why are you there? Like, then she's snapping someone's steering wheel, and it's like,
now she's got the wine glass. I saw it too, Nyash. Anyway,
Anyway,
I do feel though, do you know what? Like we're living in, what's the year we're in?
2024.
2024. I was going to say 2014. 2014 just kept bashing my forehead.
Wow.
We're living in 2024. We live in the age of ChatGPT. Like most of the Toto Wolff interviews I was reading about Shanghai, it was him talking about how it's like the return of us going to China. We've got this and this and this. And that's obviously not his information. That's stuff he's been told to say. So continue the ChatGPT conversation in the statement and write how to write a statement for Mercedes AMG F1 post-quali race statement. Make it good about Lewis. Make it good about George, but also bring in the bads. It's so easy. So easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
Which that's what makes it weird to me. I'm like, he knows what good PR is. The team needs good PR for that matter. So I'm like,
Bro,
what's to do.
You know.
And I'm like, so why are you not doing it? And that to me, that's when I start to get like, okay, when people start having like loose lips, when they know better, that makes me like, you know what I mean? It gives me like a little bit of like my antennas raised because I'm like, you could choose your words more carefully, but you're kind of choosing not to. The thing with Verstappen, constantly like putting his name out there. I'm like, every other time we see drivers switch teams, we don't know anything about it until it's done. You know what I mean? So I'm like constantly making this public that, you're courting Verstappen. Like, since when do we do this out in the open? Like, it's just like the lack of decorum right now is kind of giving me the ick from Toto. And I think that's kind of where a lot of Team LH is at too. It's just like, this man is not really like giving us this, the vibe that we are hoping to see in a team principal, like of a team that's struggling. You know what I mean? Like, morale is low. The team has no idea what they want to do. Your star driver is leaving. You can't be out here as a team principal, like grieving. You put on a strong front. You know what I mean? Like, pull your pants up. Like, give us some hope. But you can't be complaining the same as we're complaining.
You have Lewis's number,
right?
Text him.
It's crazy.
Text him. If you're like, bro, like, why are you smiling? Like, you're a bit too happy that you're leaving me. Like, you're really making me feel a bit sad about it. You just open iMessage and you text him and hope for a text back. It's that easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't wish to quote Horner, but I think it's quite poignant what he said. Horner hits back at Toto Wolff's prospects of signing Max Verstappen. Mercedes are the third team behind their customers at the moment. So I would think his Toto's time would be better spent perhaps focusing on the team than the driver market.
And it's bad when you agree with that man. The accused one. When you're siding with the accused.
Damn.
Fam. It's bad.
Awful. Like, I'm embarrassed. I'm getting the ick from this guy on a daily basis.
Our enemies are laughing at us.
You're embarrassing. Ew. Right. I'm so glad Lewis has broken up with those people, I'm actually bare happy. Like, break up with them, bye. It's like, do you know what? I was going to say something then, but he's only got these few months.
I'll tell you, we've got a few months. But like, do you know what? Yeah, it's actually like when that Ferrari notification come through. Yeah, do you know what it was? It was like liberating because I was like geared up to be in bondage with this team for the rest of my like Lewis Hamilton days. I was like, I'm just gonna have to fucking deal with this shit.
Yeah.
Nick's just gonna have to deal with this shit. Just gonna have to be loyal to these man. And I have to. And then now I'm like, I don't. That is not my problem.
That Nicole Kidman meme after she divorced Tom.
It's like it feels like it literally feels like we're co-parenting with this freaking team that it's like we're waiting for the kid to turn 18 and then now I'm done.
Hey, kid's not ours.
Kid's not ours. DNA test.
DNA test. Kid is not yours.
No, trust me. The tenancy ends December, guys. Tenancy ends. I'm out of there.
Gone, finished,
done.
Finito. All right. Well, look. Mercedes, I say well done to Mercedes, but obviously, disappointing, finishing 6th and 9th, but still getting some points. Let's go into starts of the day, donkey of the day. I'll start with you, Thandie, as you have not been here for a while.
I've never been able to start. This is it's a monumental time, guys.
Yeah. Can I have your star of the day, please?
I have 2 stars. I think the obvious one is Lando Norris. Thanks for keeping me entertained through a very... Do you know what, guys? I really hate the Chinese GP. If you watch back to all our episodes, all 2 of them, I don't like it. I've never enjoyed it. Doesn't really interest me. I think it's boring. But obviously... No, sorry, not the Chinese. My bad. Because that wasn't even there. My bad.
I was going to say, I didn't know whether to, I don't know whether to interrupt this.
I want to say which one bores me now, but now I feel bad because it seems kind of, anyway. Okay, so
Move on.
Yeah, I was going to say the other one. Anyway, so I've never enjoyed these things much, like Formula One.
Oh my God.
Well, sorry, where was I? Yeah, so I'm quite happy that Lando kind of just picked up for us, to be fair. And it's a happy moment for Lando. For anyone who's a Lando stan, I think we were all really happy. I think obviously we know that Lando has not had a win. We know that. But we're just happy for the guy. And Formula One is getting better. You're really exceeding in Formula One when you lose your British accent. Now you've got this transatlantic accent that just comes out. You're balling because you're eating with the money people, And I'm happy for him in that sense. Do I know Lando's a menace? Of course I fucking know he's a menace. But I enjoy it. Yeah. And it's just something new that comes from something that, has been so constant and so repetitive. And it's like, okay, someone new comes through and we're happy. So that's why Lando's on that side. And then obviously I'm really, really happy for Zhou Guanyu because that moment, Joe, what a guy. I'm so happy for him. And I liked how they gave him his own little celebrity, even though he's right in the back, we still give him something. And this is his nation and we all ride for him. And I saw those ugly ass neon colors and I said, let's go. Yeah. So I'm really happy. Awesome. The race that I was going to say that always bores me. Let me just not even say it. Sorry. We'll say it later.
Yeah, please. We got away with it. Tasha, thoughts on Zhou? I mean, he was clearly very emotional. I think it was pretty cool. Look, he had his moment on Saturday as well, getting into the top 10. And, that roar when, it was kind of guaranteed that he would be in the top 10.
Yeah.
For the sprint qualifying 3 was really good. And obviously the moment that he had at the end of the race, you could see the emotion on his face. I guess, you must have been quite happy for him.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I would also kind of agree with Thandie, as my star. I feel like Zhou, I mean, granted, yes, the race wasn't great, but, to be able to get into 14th where, Valtteri's car DNF'd, thank God it was Valtteri's, not Zhou, because I couldn't imagine at a home race. But, sort of to be able to still get the car to the finish line was great. But yeah, like for me, I thought it was really significant. I mean, he's talked before about the fact that like in China, motorsport culture, at least at the time where he was kind of coming up, wasn't that huge. So in order for him to even have this career, he had to leave and go to England so he could even chase this dream. So to finally be able to like come home and race in front of your home crowd, like in your home city, I think that's like really significant. So yeah, it was really cool to see that they honored him in that way. I mean, I feel like the sport's so cutthroat, so you don't really get a lot of those heartwarming sort of moments. And that was just nice, I think, to see. So yeah, big up to Joe.
And I just want to say, I saw a couple of you, man, the podcasters with your tweet us, delete us. You try to mock a man for getting his home Grand Prix. Standing ovation, big platforms.
So
I love to see it. I love to see man get humbled. I'm not going to lie to you. Honestly, it is lovely. For me, I think, what I would say is, this sport is becoming, watching and following this sport is becoming more binary by the day. Like either you started following before DTS, or and you were like the most insane, oh my God, my favorite driver is Kamui Kobayashi. Oh my God, he was such a fuck off, man. Or you're like, you're post-D.
Fucking hell. What? How fit that? I've never heard this.
I love Kobayashi. You know what, yeah? I'm not going to lie to you. The thing I hate the most about F1 Twitter is when people just like overly rep mid-drivers as like a personality trait.
Like,
and I find it...
I know you do. I really know you do.
Like that's like the most scaring the hose thing like ever. Like and the thing is, like I get it. Like it's fine to like support people like who are like
stuff. Like show.
But like, don't make it your whole personality to support like guys who. And like the thing is, they take people who were around 20 years ago and try and hype them into something that was like, and I was there. They were shit. It's like them trying to tell me, like, I don't know, Lil Flip was like one of the best rappers alive. And I was like, I was around when that was out.
No man.
Maybe. Probably.
Maybe.
Because he's mid. So,
stop that.
Yeah, okay. Respectfully, I don't know. Respectfully. But I think everything's so binary, and it's like we're losing
recipes.
I saw someone get flamed for saying what this season's missing is rivalries.
Yeah.
And, people are like, well, why would you want that? These new sets of fans, all that. And it's just like...
You just want us to just watch the same man win every day.
Yeah. It's not Sesame Street. It's fine if they're not.
That's fine. But just admit you're enjoying it because your favorite driver is winning. That's fine. But don't gaslight me into like appreciating some of like the more human elements to the sport. And if you want the sport to grow, it's about stories. And I think the story, look, no matter, I've seen people saying like he had unlimited funds or whatever, like fine, of course, but I mean, how many drivers in F1 really don't start with ridiculous amount of funds? Like, I think his story, like I say, coming from China, moving to Sheffield, no matter how he come across his driver, he was still good enough to be in a position where his money was able to help him to do that. And he has inspired a whole nation. There'll be kids in that crowd, just like there were, he was in that crowd watching, like I say, Thandie, who are now looking at him as the representation that they need. And representation isn't just about, I can appreciate representation even if it's not representation that directly affects me. And maybe this, I can empathize with that, but I just think people who don't empathize with that, I think it says a lot more about you as a person than it does about the crowd and the direction that F1 went. And I think, it's really good start.
And I feel like
thank you very much.
I feel like a lot of F1 snowflakes, not me being the boomer who's calling you snowflakes now, but they are. I feel like a lot of F1 snowflakes just would not survive in the Kimi Räikkönen days where he's like fucking telling you all to fuck off and getting out of his car and getting violent. You just wouldn't survive. You just wouldn't survive. You need to go back and watch the right races.
it's just honestly, I just find, I don't know. I'm finding F1 fandom at the moment. I think we just need more. We need more on track, because the off-track stuff is.
We're losing recipe.
It's just not hitting.
Even
and if people
go on.
What's that? After you.
I said even like some of the tweets I see on my timeline, I have a lot of you guys muted. Nyasha knows this. Nyasha knows who I've got muted. A lot of you are muted because your takes are stinky, bro. Very stinky. I can smell them from here.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to collaborate with Thandie, she is at Thandie on Instagram.
I really don't like
Pleasure to work with.
Stop it right now. You have started a narrative that's so untrue. Like, everybody, I'm such a lovely person. Not to toot my own horn, but the meanest person on this podcast is Nyasha. He's so mean.
Like, I want to start a dialogue.
He is so mean. You guys, I know this man. He's being mean.
He's a big mean.
No, you see? Mean.
Oh, I haven't been called mean for a long time.
Really?
Wow. Mean is a very childish word.
I was going to call you and see you next Tuesday, and then I thought, you know what?
Okay, cool. Okay, no, let's not do that. Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
But yeah, back to the real enemy.
Right to the real enemy.
Damn snowflake.
Fuck them all. Tasha, start of the day, please. Did you say? You said Joe.
Yeah, I echoed the same thing. I would like to also give an honorary star to Team LH in China, because I just felt like they held that shit down. Like, that was crazy to see the crowd, the grandstands, like every interview, the background was 44 everywhere. Kind of same sentiment though, as you said, like with Zhou and like the narrative. Like, for me, I think it perfectly pairs with like what's going on with Lewis. You know, as I think Autosport magazine pointed out, he hasn't won a race in 50 weekends or whatever. And I think a lot of haters, snowflakes, as Thandie said, don't understand why Lewis Hamilton not only has such fierce support, but like it's growing. I think it's that same concept of like the fans. It's not transactional, right? Like Zhou, people wanting to show for him, like that wasn't transactional. That was his people, like just trying to let him know that he was loved and that they appreciated him for representing something in a sport that is not meant for him. Same thing with Lewis. And I feel like that narrative for me was really strong this weekend, because people, love to say that they don't understand why, people still love or support like Lewis. And it's like, this is why, because he's a man of the people. He represents something. He symbolizes something. Yeah. And, even when he's, not doing great, it's still a little bit inspirational. He had a pretty decent recovery, lots of safety cars helped. You know what I mean? He was able to do something that in a car that he made the choice to, set it up the way that it was. Like, he still made something of it. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a win all the time just to be appreciated. And I think that's something that the F1 community could also learn a little bit about. Yeah.
And also that people are on, get your elbows out. This is a sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get your elbows out, mate. I want to see somebody punch somebody.
Absolutely.
You know?
Me too.
Sometimes. In here.
Why not?
The baguettes
I just want to see.
you might get at it at some point.
Bro, like, I am dying for it. Every time it happens, I'm just waiting. Yeah. Like, my bets are on Yuki right now. I don't like to push the Yuki's an angry Ute narrative, but my bets are on Yuki. Slowly. It's coming.
I would say Lance.
I feel like Yuki's like in a place of zen now. I reckon it's going to be Daniel Ricciardo. Like,
I was going to say Daniel's going to get punched.
The straw that breaks the camel's back is going to be something that just makes like when Ned Flanders went mad in The Simpsons because he just got disrespected too much.
That's what I'm waiting to happen. I see someone get hit.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
I'd love to see a fight.
My star of the day, I'm not going to lie, obviously, like, well done to Lewis, 19th, 18th, 9th. He shouldn't have been there in the first place, though, so I'm not going to give it to him for that. But I'm going to say, I'm not going to lie to you, Nico Rosberg really won me over this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was really enjoying Nico Rosberg. Mostly because he wasn't putting up with Crofty's shit at all, bro.
Yeah.
He said, I don't work for y'all. I can say whatever I want.
Gonna like start a fight. Yeah, he said, I don't give a fuck. But I'm not going with this narrative.
Right. Every time, like Fernando Alonso's blitzing through the field, and he's like, "Oh, come on, Crofty." He was like,
He's not having it.
He was like, they were like, "Oh, Nico, like." Lando Norris has done really well, you know, and he had that bit of the Ferrari engine, you know, about, you know, not being Ferrari. Nico was like, well, you know, I think Lando needs to really improve his attitude, you know, and this attitude is not good enough, you know. I just love how he's always about to laugh at something that is just not funny that he said, like, ever.
Even though he was the one who had the worst attitude as well. Nico Rosberg's attitude was stinky.
Was that the beginning of the weekend when Rosberg was like, oh, you know, Perez just needs to ruffle Max's feathers, and then like Kevin was like, oh, like you did, and he was like, oh well, come on, that's not nice. He's
like, why you gotta bring up old shit?
I think he knows.
Oh my God, he's so funny. He's like unintentionally funny, and I think that's what I really like.
That's exactly what it is.
But that was my side of the day. I can't really think of anyone. Obviously, like, to be honest, like, I guess quickly I will say, look, Max is in a league of his own. Yeah. I think dunking, the amount of time that he is doing on his teammate is crazy. Which brings me to my donkey of the day. I'm sorry.
Load it up, please. Light the fire. Put the gotcha on, please.
I am sick and tired, There's a famous Chris Rock stand-up sketch where he talks about people getting credit for shit they're supposed to do. And that is Sergio Perez in a nutshell.
Yep.
And I'm sick to my back teeth of having to listen to, Sergio's done a great job today, finishing third. The guy is driving a rocket ship.
He shouldn't even be third.
He shouldn't be third.
Yeah.
He should be in second, up his teammate's ass, respectfully. And he's not.
Speak on it.
Verstappen is dunking 0.7 of a second per lap on this guy. That's not normal. Yeah. I don't care. Like, they shouldn't. Verstappen is good. I'm not going to take away from what Max is doing. But he is not 0.7 of a second quicker than his teammate in the same car. I refuse. And don't give me this different car bullshit either. They're the same cars with two vastly differently talented drivers. Sergio Perez does not deserve that seat. There are a man who would kill to be in that seat that would be doing better in that seat. And it's not on, of course, it's on the other teams. Some Mercedes who fucked up, McLaren, Ferrari, Aston, whatever. They need to be closer. But I'm not seeing any smoke for a man who is 0.75 of a second per lap down on his own teammate, who has effectively created a championship where there is no competition, and it's his fault. I'm pissed off with it. And that's my donkey of the day, Sergio Perez.
Thank you so very much for lighting the fire.
Tasha and Thandie, any more on Sergio?
Well, to be fair, Sergio was my donkey too. So I'll then reignite your fire. Let me add a bit more gaslight to your fire, mate, right? Sergio Perez, when you man were talking about mid, I will always say Sergio Perez is mid. He's just lucky to be there. You know that one person, you're just lucky to be here. You just wandered in. Yeah. You don't even know where you are. Yeah. That's who Sergio Perez is. Mid. And he knows it. And he's just lucky to be
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot to say about Sergio Perez. He has no backbone. We realized that last year. He has no personality. He's not really an ally. So we were waiting for your driving to kind of carry you to a place where we might be like, oh, he's all right. But your driving doesn't do that anyway. Like, I'm literally, can we just fast forward to the chapter when Red Bull screws you over in the summer and puts someone else in the car? Because that would make me very happy. That would make me very happy because the younger drivers below him are literally using him as training. They're using him as training on how do we get to the top? Oh yeah, just use him. Like, oh, you're so predictable every time. Predictable. Beautiful gums.
It's not great.
Terrible voice.
Beautiful gums.
Beautiful gums.
Tasha, anyone on Sergio?
Dunk on him, Tasha.
No.
Okay.
It's the same. I mean, it's the same shit from like last season. I mean, yes, he's gotten like marginally better at qualifying so far, and in races he's kind of the same as he was last year. So I mean, I don't know. It is like annoying that he's in that second seat and we know what that car is capable of, and he's just like nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And this is my thing. I'm like, we only have 10 teams. The other 9 teams are just not there. So the only battle we could potentially have would be between the 2 teammates, and it's just nothing. You know what I mean? Like, Max is just sailing off in the sunset. So yeah, for me, Sergio's just disappointing. And the fact that it's already like only 5 races in the season, and he's already this far off. Like, we haven't even gotten to the, upgrades of the Red Bull or anything like that. So it's like, if the gap gets any bigger, like, why even start his car on Sundays? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's even the fucking point?
Honestly.
Like, Max is going to carry the driver and the constructor by himself. Like, what is the point of even starting Checo's car on Sunday? Like,
I am the day the day Red Bull screw him over. I'm a Red Bull through and through. I'm through and through. Like, I'm going to change my name.
I never said a bad word in my life about Red Bull.
Trust me, I'm a Red Bull fan. Yeah, we might have to beat that bit out, but okay. I'm gonna be under that racist Stop F1 page. Like, don't call these people.
Hey, when it comes out that you're actually the person running the racist, sorry, for those who don't know, there's a parody page
called Racist
F1 called Racist Stop F1. They even made a little logo of us.
And they tweet me every morning.
Why don't you block them?
I find it entertaining.
This is like some baby reindeer shit.
No,
why don't you block them? Get them out of your life, bro. Stop encouraging it. Okay? Every time I see you replying to this guy, like, fucking block him. You enjoy it.
I was like, see you tomorrow. Same time again tomorrow. Because they're going to come back. It is giving Baby Reindeer. When I was watching Baby Reindeer, I was thinking the exact thing. Like, bro, am I enjoying this? Is this sick?
You are enjoying
Stockholm syndrome.
I really just like the creativity around it, like the logo, the fact that they made a parody account, and the fact that they're dedicated to just tweeting me I respect the work ethic.
Yeah.
Can't say a lot about Checo Perez.
Yeah, no, fair play. There you go. That's why they pay the big bucks. Brought that back expertly. Tasha, donkey of the day.
I'm gonna give mine to Lance Stroll just because I'm like, bro, like, I think Lance Stroll is the driver that y'all are trying to make Lewis Hamilton out to be. Y'all are trying to say he's washed. Like, that is a washed driver. Okay, like, get Lance Stroll the fuck up off the grid. Like, he's done. He's out of here.
Babe.
He's never the worst. Yeah, you're right. Always. But I'm just like,
clean. He was clean.
Been in the rinse cycle this whole fucking time, huh? But my God, like, when we talk about drivers who should not be there, and I've seen all the different, like, Alonso should go, Lewis should go, all these people should go because they're old or whatever. And I'm just like, but these young guys who are like half their ages are not doing anything remarkable and shouldn't be there. And Lance Stroll is like fucking the captain of that team. Like, he needs to go.
It's
get him out.
It's worse when, like, you'd rather keep Logan Sargent in the whole thing rather than Lance Stroll.
Right.
Let's be so fucking for real. Let's have that conversation.
No, but like,
Let's
for
have that
real, like,
conversation.
that's absolutely
Like, for real. I would rather watch Logan Sargent at this point, like Lance. Like,
like, Lance, please. Anyway.
He's so bad.
so bad.
He said, I guess I hit the person in front of me. Like, what do you mean you guess? You
Should have gone Specsavers, you absolutely. I guess I hit him.
Even if he wasn't at Specsavers, he's looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
He was looking at the corner. You know what, yeah? I'll give a story. I've only had one crash.
Have you?
Whilst I've been driving. Like when I've been driving, I only had one crash. And it wasn't even like a big crash, but it was when we were in traffic and I just started driving. I was giving someone a lift home. And I was like, trying to be a good host in my car. I was like, oh, what song do you want to listen to? And I'm like, obviously lining up some jigger somewhere, looking up, look at my phone, going forward and trying, bang, into the car behind, our car in front. Fucked it, right?
I'd have fucking gone the insurance. My neck, my back.
Oh, man. Oh, no, the person came out like,
yeah,
my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. And luckily we settled it outside of insurance because it wasn't that bad. My car was more fucked up than his, man. He had like a 4x4, like a truck, and my bonnet of my Golf went into it and just fucked my... Anyway.
Is this when you got the
That I
Celica?
said to say... That was just before I got the Celica. Yeah. So I say all that to say, like, for you, like, on the corner where everyone's about to start going fast and you need your wits about you and you're looking at an apex of a corner, you're going at 10 miles per hour, for God's sake. Like, why are you looking at the apex of the corner instead of the car that's directly in front of you? You go into it like Danny Ricciardo's car was like giving him like a starlet show. Like it was literally up and down on his front wing. Like you might as well have been chucking dollars at it. It was embarrassing. It was so bad. And it's like not the first time a lack of concentration has befelled Lance Stroll to the point where he's created contact with someone else. And I agree with you, Tasha.
Mind is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, he wants to play footsie with his girlfriend's feet.
Paint.
Like that.
He wants to travel.
He wants to paint, plumbing.
Yeah, he wants to take his plumbing course. Tennis. Pottery.
Anything.
Pottery.
Good.
Yeah. Since he likes to smash things.
Yeah.
Spin around and stuff, yeah.
Maybe he wants to be like a life artist model.
Go on. Let it land, please.
Could see that.
Don't know, he just gets to sit around, lie around like naked.
Yeah.
Get people painting,
No, that's so
him,
Bottas.
You know?
That's so Bottas coded. You know it is.
That is Bottas,
that's
actually.
Very
yeah,
Bottas
no,
coded.
for real.
Yeah.
That is very Bottas.
Speaking of Bottas, he's kind of grown on me recently. I wouldn't get the calendar, though. Wouldn't get the calendar.
No? You wouldn't get your stepson's calendar?
No, that's weird. That's really weird, you know? And then they'll start saying that we support paedophiles on this podcast. Hey. No.
Racist stop F1. Could you answer to the fact that you said that you'd buy your stepsons? The mad thing is, how can you call us a cult when you lot literally camp under people's mentions every day? Like you're just going around the internet looking for things that people you don't like say that so that you can reply to it, but then you call us a cult. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I know I started our last live show with "Are we a cult?" but we're actually not. We're not a cult.
I mean, a little bit.
Like cult. I was like, you are? Yeah, son.
I mean, I'm not saying Quickstop isn't a cult. I mean, Team LH is definitely a cult.
Yeah. You man are a cult. Definitely a cult.
You man. See how she disassociates when it suits her. Donkeys of the day. Okay, cool. Quick word on Kevin Magnussen.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Don't have time for this conversation. Shouldn't even be giving this man airtime. Why do we give K-Mag airtime? Like, it really pisses me off. You know when you were talking about you're scaring the hose when people like are like fans of really mid drivers? K-Mag fans, you are the most scariest people I've ever met in my life because you must just not like to win. You must just enjoy being super mid. Like super, like you, like I'm scared to see what your daily routines are. Do you eat ready salted crisps every day and then go and have like a mid shower that's not really hot, not really cold? Do you then just go to a boring call center job where you wear gray and you barely have a sex life? Like, I'm so sorry. Yeah. But if you're a K-Mag fan, you are the most frightening person I've ever met in my life because you must just not like the high of winning. You must just not like the high of even being happy. Little bit of sport happiness. You must just like annoyance, destruction, everything. Like,
Period.
get help. Get help. Seek help.
Period.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Mack.
You have an what is it? The cat? What's the Cat Williams part?
Unnatural allegiance to losers.
You have an unnatural allegiance to losers, and I want better for you, man. I want better for you guys. And don't come up to me and say, "Oh, like Lewis is a loser." Check the scoreboard, baby. Numbers don't lie. K-Mag, on the other hand,
check the numbers.
Yeah, okay. Not great. Not great. Well. Thank you, guys. Let's see what... Thank you for that, Danny. Let's see what the fans, the listeners, had to say about the race. So we're going to read your tweets out right now. You know who's going hard with the Twitter advertising? Dream Singles, which I think is like the mail order bride thing.
No.
Award-winning international dating.
Because that's your algorithm. Wait, don't bring us into it.
It's on the quick stop thing.
I'm getting
that's your algorithm. I don't see that.
It's on the quick stop thing.
I'm on the quick stop content. I don't see that. Just let me know when you're trying to mail order that Indian bride. Cool.
Look. I know where this is going. End the season already. I have seen enough at Dudstar, which is honestly, I
love that.
But I must say, this person at Dudstar, they always have the best reaction videos.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I saw Dudstar actually tweet that same thing out before, and I think they are on a constant reel basically tweeting this, and I completely support it.
Thandie, what tweet would you like to read out?
I'm going to read out Trip C's tweet. Shout out Chris. He said Lewis is the star of the day, P8, P18, P19 at the start, finishes P9. And then he's put his donkey as Lance and K-Mag being terrorists. And then he's put talking points, GR63, of course, not doing anything, started P8, finishes P6, only really gaining positions under pit stops. And thank you for that, Chris. Because just leave Chris to have his daily segment where he talks about how much he hates George Russell.
Does not rate that.
If George Russell has 0 haters, Chris is dead.
Trust me, and I respect it. I really respect it.
He really does not rate that guy at all. I feel like
just the last thing you hear every night is but fuck George Russell though, Tasha. Yeah, just fuck George Russell though, Tasha. Good night.
Did you hear Nyasha defend George Russell on the podcast earlier?
I don't understand why people are defending George Russell, Tasha.
Oh my God, is that your Chris accent?
Morning, Tasha. Would you like something to eat? I just hate George Russell. You all right? Are you all right, Christopher? Just hate George Russell. All right, Chris.
That's pretty close.
Has anyone liked Chris's voice?
Disrespectful.
I don't think so.
That was really good.
I don't think anyone has.
That's pretty good.
Chris, did you?
Uncanny.
No, that's a good impression of Chris. Yeah.
He's on a producer thing, so we can't.
Yeah, sure.
So, thank you for that tweet, Tasha.
Yes, I'm going to read from Amy Eckert. She said, a good recovery by LH, all things considered, but the W15 pace, not good. Struggling to overtake Alpine and Haas cars or enter DRS range of the damaged McLaren. GR63 with an okay quali, and those safety cars still couldn't get near the podium. Oh my God.
Okay, the quiz tell you to read that one out.
Looks pretty like normal. Oh my God.
The agenda is strong in the household.
Chris has just handed you the phone, like, read this.
Make sure you read this one, Tasha.
Tasha, read this one.
Tasha.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Chris, we love you, man. Right, let me. Oh God, let me read out. Ryan Marsh at Darth _Ryan87 says, star of the day, Rosberg for carrying Sky Weekend, good taste. Dunk of the day, Sky Studio, yes. Talking about it, still trying to save money and get pundits back at the event. Can you tell I'm not a fan of the studio? Quickly, thoughts on the studio, the Sky Sports Studio. I don't know, Tasha, have you seen the Sky Sports Studio?
Yeah.
They've stopped going to like the flyaway races to save money and to be more green and cut costs.
It's like stupid because you're literally racing Formula 1 cars. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, now you want to be
like on a plane.
People are on
the cameras are already there. They set everything up. Fly the commentators out.
Everything is literally.
What's 3 more people?
Else is already there. You've just saved 3 aeroplane seats.
Like, come on now. And it's not good. I feel like they're very disconnected from the coverage. It just feels like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like it really makes me feel like I've woken up early. Like when they're there, it's easier to feel like involved.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like I'm getting a sense of this. I'm getting a sense of that. When they're in the studio, like, well, these men are on the same time I am. Like, well, I don't feel that special sense of like getting up and doing this. And like, it makes like, this is how you watch the NFL in the UK, which is like a secondary sport. And it feels like you're treating F1 as like a secondary sport now because you're just doing it as cheaply as possible in a studio, and how much you really saving not having
not a lot though, guys. Let's be honest.
At the tracks.
Not a lot.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Not for me. So I thought I'd just guys, sorry as well. If oh God, are we putting our tweets in the thing?
Oh, I was sending mine to Chris.
Make sure you put your tweets.
Mine was Chris already anyway. He knows what he said.
Thandie.
Yes, sir.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do Steve Price from Plan B Studios from Lucky Sons.
Plan B Studios.
and his start of the day is Lando Norris. I didn't do this on purpose, by the way. Shout out the Brits. Got to stand tall with that other Brit. He has put his donkey as... I don't know what that says. I don't have my glasses.
Stroll for being a Stroll.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, he's made a joke. And then he's put Stroll for being Stroll as his donkey. And then he's put his talking point as, where did Piastri go? And Hulkenberg and Magnussen, Ham, P18, 9 equals Ghost.
Yes. Piastri had damage on his car from the Concertina crash that was caused by Lance Stroll being a terrorist, and Daniel Ricciardo then going into the back of him, I think, which broke his diffuser and made him lose downforce. I've just seen Chris's message. Very funny. So yeah, that's why. So if anyone was, because I did wonder as well, because there was again a big pace discrepancy between Piastri and Norris, which can be explained by that. But I will say we are still seeing that kind of race pace between Lando and Piastri being extremely large. Piastri does seem to have him over one lap. They can kind of be kind of close, but when it comes to race pace, like Oscar's, a lot of the time nowhere near Lando, and that's definitely something he wants to get on top of this season if he wants to be considered, elite in that same bracket as as Lando Norris. Tasha, do you have a tweet you'd like to read out?
Yeah, I'm going to read Silka's tweet. She said, Team LH China is her star. And then her talking point was, how has Gasly been close to a race ban, but not Magnussen or Stroll? Lance doesn't even seem to be looking where he needs to after all these years. Magnussen just does the same thing over and over again as well. Give me Liam and Ollie now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Fernando got 3 race points for what he done in Australia. I don't think... Did Lance get any points this weekend for what he done? He just got a 10-second penalty, right? So, yeah, very strange. Honestly, it's Lance Stroll is just privileged guy. And that's who people should be dunking on, not Zhou getting emotional and the Chinese crowd for giving him his flowers. I think that's going to be a good place to stop it. Guys, I've not even asked you in this video, but if you are watching, please give us a like and a subscribe. Ratings on Spotify, Patreon's there, all of them things there. Let me give a round of applause to our guest who's held it down on Saturdays and holding it down on Mondays. Thank you so much, Tasha James. If people want to find out more from you, Tasha, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter with the rest of the crazies at Tasha, T4SH4, and then 3 underscores.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you so much if you do want to get involved with that. And also, Tasha is obviously with me on Saturdays. We have the Saturday show every Saturday, so tune into that. Thandie.
Yeah.
Any more for any more?
I didn't hear what you think about the extension of Alonso's gravitas in Formula One.
Couldn't care less. Could not care less. I think I mentioned it before. It's good for him. I think I respect Alonso as a driver. I couldn't care less about him as a personality.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that because I was like, don't give me the ChatGPT statement.
No, yeah. I think it's good for him as a driver to have to be in a position where Aston Martin are going to be a works team. That Honda engine could be the engine that takes him to glory in 2026. And if that happens, then it's a great move for him. If it doesn't, then he's got complete control over a team where his teammate is the boss's son, who is fucking useless. So it's a win-win situation. Quickly, points down to 12. Thoughts?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Put on the black stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter what what I would say is I think we are papering over cracks where, yes, things are competitive and but it should be hard to score points. That's the whole point of scoring points. And if you're not scoring points, then
and also, why stop at 12? Why not just go all the way down?
Yeah, like 12th, was like, oh, everyone should get a participation point. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're going soft.
We're losing recipes in this stupid fucking sport, mate. Really, somebody punch someone already.
There you go. On that note, remember, no matter what life throws at you,
keep it on the black
Keep it on the black stuff.
Keep it on the black stuff. Till next time. Love you guys. Oh my God, the sound effects are working again. Let me just fucking piss me off. Quick, someone back. Piss me off.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quickstop F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, Keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.